Hi, welcome to Hot, Hot, Hot today on Let's Cook. Somebody tied my drumsticks together. Oh no, these are chopsticks. But we're not using these to make anything hot, hot, hot today. However, one of the first items that we're going to make, you could actually eat with some chopsticks because it does have a little bit of an Eastern flair to it. Let me just go over the menu that we're making for hot, 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 because in the summertime, one of the reasons it's good to eat chilies or cayenne is because it actually opens up your blood vessels and you sweat better, and it's actually healthier for you. That's why a lot of the countries that are in very hot climates enjoy very hot food and a lot of chilies in their diet because it's actually much healthier for you. So today we're making a grapefruit and radish salad that we're actually going to be using some jalapenos in. Then we're going to be making a pork cutlet with a chipotle marinade out of this world. And then, of course, it's hot, hot, hot in the summer, but there's nothing like a stone fruit cobbler. So that's what we're doing today on Let's Cook. Hot, hot, hot. We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious grapefruit and radish salad with a lot of heat for the hot, hot, hot summer. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's hot, hot, hot today on Let's Cook. Now, the first thing we're going to make today is, it's actually a spicy salad where we're using grapefruit and two types of radishes. So we're using some section grapefruit, then we have some daikon. We also have red radishes. We're going to use some grapefruit juice, sugar, and a little grapeseed oil for the dressing, and then, of course, some parsley and some diced jalapeno chili that we're using, salt and pepper to taste. Now, this is a jalapeno that we have here. It's a chili, it's going to be hot, so when you take your jalapeno, and I'll just show you this first, we're going to take and we're going to cut this way, and this way you don't have to deal with those seeds. And by the way, the seeds, this is where it's very, very hot, where the seeds are, and also you see the ribbing right here in the chili, that's also where it's very hot. So that's where you're going to get the heat. And if you're using a jalapeno, realize that as you cook this, you're going to lose some of the heat from it. So I'm just going to take this jalapeno, and again, you can use as much of this as you'd like to in your salad based on how hot you like it. So I'll just dice this up here, and we want this to be a real nice small dice. So we're actually cutting this into a brunoise. So we have our chili there. Then we also need the radishes. Now, these are the radishes we're going to use, just a red radish. If they're large like this, it's a nice idea to take them, cut them in half, and then with your knife, you're just going to take and slice these very thinly. You need to make sure, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to slice it thinly and then go like that and say, see how thin that is? You want it to be nice and thin like that. But by pulling your knife through, you can get a very, very nice thin slice. Whoops, we'll put that back, see? So you have a nice thin slice with that. So there's my radish that I'm going to use. Now I have a daikon here. This is also a radish. Now what I'm going to do with the daikon, first we'll get rid of the greens here, put them on the side. Then I'll just cut this down in half a little bit. We need to peel this. So we're just going to take the outer skin off the daikon. The nice thing about daikons is usually they're not waxed. And we're going to cut this into a paisan cut. A paisan cut just means that it's a flat square, and I'll show you how to do that too. So we'll just take this, peel this down, get rid of our garbage here. Now, to do the paisan cut, I'll cut it down this way. Then I have a flat side so this won't roll. We'll cut this down here. And then based on the size of the daikon, if you wanted to be very exacting about it, what you would do is you would then take this, cut this in half this way, and just then make nice little flat squares, almost the size of a Scrabble piece. So you cut that this way. Now what I do with the daikon, and I already have some here, is I put this in a bowl, I salt it, whoops, that was my sugar. I'm going to take a little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar, and some water. And I let this sit overnight. And what this does is it's almost similar to cooking, where it's going to soften, it's going to bring the flavor out. And then all you do is, before you go to use it, you take it and you drain this off. If you do taste it's a little salty or anything like that, you can take and rinse it off, which is probably a good idea. You need to rinse that off a little bit. So I have my daikon ready. Now, grapefruit. Grapefruits in the summer are great, so we're just going to take this grapefruit and we're going to section this, and I'll show you how to do this. First of all, make sure you take the bottoms off on both sides here. Then, with your knife, make your first cut through the skin. Look down at where that cut ended right here. Come halfway through with the tip of your knife and then pull it back the other way. See how we're able to do this, and we keep the shape of the grapefruit, and we also remove all of the pith. You'll notice I keep my knife in the same location, and I essentially turn the grapefruit to my knife. And by looking down this way I make sure that I get rid of all of that pith. And this is also great utilization of the grapefruit too, because what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to take this now and I'm going to section my grapefruit this way, just cutting through to the middle here. So we just take our, and because we're getting rid of any of this skin in between the grapefruit there, whoops, don't want that skin in there. And also, once I get this all the way done where I've finished this off here, the juice that I need for my dressing is actually, I'm going to be able to squeeze that out of what I have left. Let's just work our way all the way around this way. Get rid of this right here. Be careful with the knife. If, the knife I'm using is very sharp. So unless you really know where that knife is, if you go too far, you could really cut yourself. It's a good idea to maybe use a dull paring knife if you're doing this at home and you don't want to cut yourself, or just be careful. Now, I have my grapefruit there. All I do is I just squeeze the middle of the grapefruit here, and that's the fruit juice that I actually need for my dressing. Now, to this now, I have my sugar. I have my jalapenos. This is where our heat is right here. We have our parsley. Drizzle this with the grapeseed oil. Then we add our radishes, both kind, our red radishes and our daikon. We season this to taste with a little bit of salt there and a little bit of pepper. Then we're simply going to toss this around, and I have some nice, beautiful Bib lettuce right here that I can use. Let me get the rest of this in here too. Don't want to waste that. Beautiful Boston Bib lettuce here. We'll just take this and we'll set this up right in the middle. Absolutely delicious. Very nice, spicy, great for the summer where it's hot, hot, hot. We're going to take a little break, and then when I come back, I have some pork cutlets in a chipotle marinade that's going to be delicious with a salad, another salad to go with this, which is made with some haricot vert green beans. Don't go anywhere. It's hot, hot, hot today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. I can cook a lot better than I can do this, or sing. I have trouble humming, actually, but I do love cooking. So, excuse me, in this segment, we're going to be doing two different things. We're going to be doing a green bean salad that is really going to complement the chipotle marinated pork cutlets that we're doing. So the first thing I need to, I have some beautiful haricot vert here. Haricot meaning bean, vert meaning green. Now what we do with these, the easiest way to do this is usually they come in one direction right here. You'll set them up all in one direction. This end right here you need to leave on. This end here where it's attached with the stem you need to, whoops. Of course, now I have this all set up and I just spotted one here that's out of sequence. Let's turn it around. But the easiest way to do this is actually to take these, pick them up together so that all of your nice ends are facing up, and all of the where it was attached are at the one side. Then with your knife you just go like this and remove all of these. Now, we need to blanch these and actually shock them to bring out the flavor and also bring out the color. Right here I have some boiling water. Now in this boiling water I'm going to put a lot of salt. Probably that's about 2 quarts of water. I'm putting about 3 to 4 tablespoons of salt. What that salt does is it actually it's not going to stick to the green bean. It neutralizes the acid that comes out of the green bean when I put it in boiling water, and it locks in that color, helps to lock in the color. So all I do is I put this in the boiling water very quickly, and I'll leave that in there for probably about a half a minute before I take it out. While that's in there and coming back up to a boil, I need to make the marinade for my pork cutlets. The marinade for the pork cutlets, I'd love to put up a recipe graphic for it, but you really don't need one, because all I'm doing is I'm using, these are smoked jalapeno chilies that are canned, very spicy, very hot. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use some garlic powder, not even fresh, just garlic powder, works just as well, and some olive oil. Little bit, just a pinch of salt in there, that's all. All we do is you puree this. Now you can use this as a marinade, but you could even just use this to base the pork chops while they're cooking. Then all we do with this is we simply take this, let me get this out of the way here. I have some beautiful pork cutlets right here. We put them on top of the pork cutlets and allow them to marinate, you know, making sure that they're well covered here. Let me just get a pair of tongs. Making sure that they're well covered with the marinade for about an hour. That's all you have to do. Just like that. And then you're going to actually either grill or saute them up. I already have my pan heating here, and I already have some that I've marinated. So before I get my green beans out, I'm just going to drop these into the pan and let them start to cook. They don't take too long to cook. These will only take about 3 minutes to cook. As a matter of fact, before this segment is over, we're going to have these pork cutlets done. So those are going there. Let's look at our green beans now. See the green color? See that beautiful green color that we're getting? This is all we need to do. Now, by shocking it, what you're actually doing is you're stopping the cooking process, and you're going to lock in the color. The other thing that's key when you're blanching vegetables, any vegetable, is once it's in that ice water and it cools down, you need to remove that from the ice water. If you don't take that from the ice water, you've broken down some of the cellulose in the vegetable here. It's actually going to absorb the water. So once they're totally cooled down, you take them, and what I'll actually do is I'll actually put them on a towel and drain them off to make sure that they're nice and dry. So I have a bunch of green beans here, or my haricot vert, they're good to go. Let's come over here to our pork cutlets now. Oh, wonderful, hot summer, smoky flavor. We'll just take these, turn them over. You're going to get great caramelization on these too from the natural sugar. Now, again, this is very hot, so if you don't like things too hot, you could use a different chili, or you could use less of the chipotles and more of the oil. You could also even add a little sugar to it. That would tone it down a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and make our salad. Now, to make our salad here, I thought I had a different bowl here. To make my salad, I'm simply going to take my green beans right here. Along with my green beans, I have some onions, red onions. We just cut them up nice and julienne. We have a little bit of parsley right here. Then I have some diced tomatoes, lemon juice, olive oil, salt, a little bit more, and some pepper. There we go. This is such a simple salad, and this really holds up well, and it's great for the summer when it's very hot out, because there's no dairy product. It's only lemon juice, vinegar, salt, pepper, tomatoes, and this is actually even better when it marinates a little bit. The only thing that will end up happening with this is, because of the lemon juice that's in here, or the acid, the green beans will have a tendency of discoloring. So I'll just set up my plate here with a little bit of the green beans here, the tomato, with the red onion, and our pork cutlets. Now, these pork cutlets right here, these are done now. And they cook very quickly. They're minimum fat. They're very healthy for you. So these are now good to go. So let me get these up on the plate here for this hot, hot, hot summer. Now I saute these, but remember, you can grill these as well. So this is good to go here. The only thing that I would do is if I was serving this, I would take this and a little bit of the oil that's left in here, I would get rid of that oil and I would deglaze it with just a little lemon juice right here. Let me get one of my lemons here. Just deglaze this with a little bit of lemon juice, just to get all that flavor off, or even stock. Then take this deglazing liquid after I got rid of the excess fat and pour this over my pork cutlets. Chipotle marinated pork cutlets. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, check it out. We're talking stone fruit cobbler today for Hot, Hot, Hot on Let's Cook. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Hot, Hot, Hot for the summer. Now, I'm going to make a stone fruit cobbler. Now, right here I have 3 different peaches. I also have a apricot here that I'm using. I'm using all these different varieties here. The apricot here. This is a conventional peach right here. This is a white peach, which has a white flesh, much nicer. And this is a donut peach, which you're starting to see in supermarkets now. All I'm going to do with these is drop these into some boiling water here. And I'm actually going to count to about 3, or actually what I'm going to do is right here, I'm just going to peel this peach right here. And you, whoops, just get right under the skin here. And then with your knife, you would just scrape this away. Even if it's a little brown, it's still going to be good for a cobbler. Actually, I need to show you. I'm going to put this one down for a second because I have this white peach here that's out of this world. And it's a good idea to have the bowl of water right here because it's very easy. If it gets sticky, just put it back in the water and you can scrape them off. Let me get these others out of here now too. Now all of them are going to have a different flavor, but the apricot, the 3 different types of peaches, let's take a look at the white peach here so I can show you the flesh on this. See this here? See that beautiful white flesh? And see how nice and easy that skin comes off? Again, I did not cook the peach. All I did was blanch it so that the skin can come off. Now, all we do with these, this is such an easy recipe. As a matter of fact, when I have it all in a dish, I'm going to show you exactly how to put it together. But basically, I already have some in here, but all I'm going to do with my knife here is just cut to where the stone is, and that's why we're calling this a stone fruit cobbler, because we're using all different stone fruits. But see, we'll just put the white peach right in there. Absolutely delicious. Then I have the apricots right here. Now the apricots you could blanch and peel, but you don't really have to. These just go like this, and then you just cut these in as well. Now, see how easy the stone comes out here? Apricots, nectarines, peaches, all of these are going to work well in here. Now, to make this, I simply take a little bit of maple syrup here, a little bit of cornstarch. That's to tighten up the juices. 1 cinnamon stick. I then take this, I toss this all together here, just making sure that it's well mixed. We put this right into our cobbler dish right here. Nice, and make sure you have a nice flat layer like that. And then I take, this is what I do. I actually take some flour, brown sugar, and butter with a little bit of water, and I just mix it with my hands. And I end up with a crumb topping that looks like this. And then with this crumb topping, I simply take this, drop this on top, and this is where you can actually get your kids involved in it, where you can just drop the crumb topping on, just on top. You don't have to butter or spray or anything, because the butter is going to come out of the crumb topping here, and it's going to base the stone fruits and the peaches while it's cooking. Bake this in a 350-degree oven until it looks like this. See how beautiful this looks? Now, when I serve this, what I like to do with this is, while it's still nice and hot and bubbling like this, and I only have about 40 seconds left to show you, is I like to serve it in a bowl like this, where it's really still nice and hot, You could wait for it to stop boiling, but you see here, see how great this stone fruit looks with the crumb topping? But for your hot, hot summer, you have to definitely finish this with a little bit of vanilla ice cream too. Remember, hot, hot, hot in the summer is good. You have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.